Whenever you're solving an equation that has a fraction in front, you want to solve it by multiplying by the reciprocal. I don't know if anyone knows what that word means. Does anyone know what the word reciprocal means? What do you have to do with a fraction in order to get the reciprocal? What'd you say? Flip it. Yep, flip it. So you see how we have a 5/6? What am I going to multiply by? What's the reciprocal of 5/6? 6/5. So that's what we're going to do on both sides. The reason why we do that is because this is going to equal 1, which is what it needs to equal in order for us to solve for x. So to multiply our fractions, we just go straight across. So we're going to take 4 times 6, which is what? 4 times 6 is what? 24. And that's over 5 times 5. Excuse me. And that's over 5 times 5, which would be 25. So the answer would be 24/25, or C. All right, so we're going to simplify radicals. And I think most of you all in Integrated 2, you learned it by building cakes and looking for pairs. So that's what we're going to continue. We're not going to do something new. We're going to just stick with what we know. So we're simplifying radicals. So if you go to page 14, whatever number is right here, that tells you how many I'm looking for, how many I need in a group. So if it's a square root, then I need pairs. That's what we're going to work on today. Tomorrow we're going to do cube roots, which means we need groups of 3. So we're going to do a few examples together, and then we'll start homework 3. And we'll also go over the exit ticket we took yesterday, so you all can see what you missed and how to not miss. You have a test a week from today. Ooh, my allergies have decided to act up. All right. So let's get started. Page 14. So because whenever you don't see something, if you don't see a number in the elbow, that means it's a 2. And when it's a 2, that means I'm looking for pairs. So let's go ahead and build our cake. So we got 25. Whenever you're building your cake, these are the numbers you want to use. You want to start with seeing if you can divide it by 2. Then you're going to go to 3, 5, 7, 11, and you probably won't have to go any higher than that. So can we divide 25 by 2? Does 2 go into 25? If you're not sure, pick up a calculator and see. If you divide it by 2 and you get a decimal, that means it's not a factor. So what number on that list, in that list, is a factor of 25? 5. So we're going to divide it by 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 goes into 5 1 time. We're always trying to build our cake until we get the candle at the top. The candle is the number 1. So if I look at what I have going up the staircase, I have 1 pair of 5s. This is how I write that. 1 pair of 5s. That means 5 to the power of 1. Now, as far as my x's are concerned, I have 2 x's. X times x. If I circle that, I have 1 pair. So my answer would just be 5x. Nothing is left over. So 25x squared is equal, the square root of 25x squared is 5x. All right, let's do 144. We're going to build our cake. This was going to be a tall cake, but that's okay. I'm going to start a little lower. So I want you to start by dividing it by 2 until you can't divide it by 2 anymore. So you're going to take half of 144. Then you take half of 72. So you're going to keep dividing until you get the candle at the top. So 2 goes into 144. Oh, you need a calculator? Sorry. Otanel, do you need a calculator? You got one? Okay. So how many times does 2 go into 144? 72 times. Wait, did you have a question? I can't hear you. So we're dividing by these numbers. These are my prime numbers. So you always want to use prime numbers. We start off with 2, and then when we can't use 2 anymore, then we go to 3. So we always start off with 2. So 2 goes into 72. 2 goes into 144 2 times. Now we can keep going. How many times does 2 go into 72? Not 38. 36 times. Keep going, because remember, we need a 1 at the top. 2 goes into 36 18 times. You can keep going. 2 goes into 18 9 times. Okay, so now I can't use 2 anymore. So the next number we're going to try is 3. How many times does 3 go into 9? 3 times, and then 3 goes into 3. And now I got my candle. So this is a tall cake. So now let's circle our pairs. I have 1, 2. I have 2 pairs of 2. So I'm going to call that 2 squared. That's how I show that I have 2 pairs of the number 2. And then I have 1 pair of 3s. Now let's look at my x's. I have 3 x's. I only have 1 pair of x's. So everybody had a friend except for what? There was only one thing left out. And what was the one thing that did not get circled? X. So that X has to stay. Anything that does not have a pair has to stay underneath the square root. All right, so now let's figure out what you get when you multiply this together. So take 2 squared times 3. And we can put away our phones because we do have a test in a week. It's our last big test. So I kind of need people to, instead of texting on the side, to kind of lock in. And then I'll be out your way real soon. So what'd you get? 12. So this becomes a 12. And then I have x to the square root of x. And that would be your answer. Our last test scores kind of dropped our grade. So we need to come back. So let's focus on doing well on this next test. All right, so let's do another one. So same thing, make a cake with the 8. So you're gonna start off with the number 2. And you keep dividing it by 2 until 2 doesn't work anymore. And then after the 2 doesn't work, then you look for another number in the list. Did somebody just knock at the door? So 2 goes into 8. There's a homework in the front too. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 2. Now I have my candle. So what you're looking for is pairs. Show me with your fingers how many pairs of 2 can I circle. How many pairs? 1 pair. There's only 1 pair. 1 pair. So that would be 2 to the power of 1. That's how you show that. 1 pair of 2s. And then I also have just 1 x. That's not enough to make a pair. 1 person isn't enough to make a pair. So when I make my square root, I have two things left that have to stay. I have the 2 and the X, because both of those do not have a partner. And that would be your final answer. Now, anytime your exponent is 1, you can drop it. That would be my answer. All right, now let's look at 32. Go ahead and start building your cake with 32. I'm gonna come around and look at our cakes. And then we have 3 X's and 2 Y's. So build your cake with 32. Start with 2, keep going until you can't divide it by 2. Then you try 3. Remember, you're trying to get the 1 at the top. That's the birthday candle. So 2 goes into 32 16 times. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times. So again, that's a pretty tall cake. Now show me with your fingers how many pairs of 2s can I circle? 2 pairs. Good job. This is a pair. This is a pair. So that would be 2 to the power 2. Now he's going to have to stay, but we'll deal with that in a minute. All right, now let's look at my variables. How many pairs can I make with 3 people? Show me with your finger. How many pairs can I make? If I only have 3 people, how many pairs? 1. There's only 1 group of 2. I only circled 1. I made 1 group, 1 circle. So that means I have 1 X that comes out. Same thing with the Y's. I only have 1 pair. And then underneath my square root is everything that did not get circled. So I have a 2. What else didn't get circled? An X. Good. So I'm going to simplify this out. What is 2 squared? 4. So I'm going to change that to a 4. X, Y, square root of 2x. If your exponent is 1, you don't have to write it. Now, I would not mark off if you did, because there's nothing wrong with putting it there. It's the same as putting a 1 in front of the X. You can put it, but you don't have to. That would be my final answer. That's what I'm looking for on your test a week from today. All right. Couple more, and then we'll start working on our homework. So let's look at number, well, it's not number, but go ahead and make a cake with the 50. And then I have 5 X's. And I have 6 Y's. So go ahead, build your cake, circle your pairs. Start off with 2. When that doesn't work, you try 3. If 3 doesn't work, then you try 5. If 5 doesn't work, you try 7. But you should not have to go that high. 2, 3, 5, those should work. 2, 3, 5, 7. These are the only numbers you can use for your cake. So you're not using a 25 on your cake. It's a 2, a 3, a 5, a 7, a 11. Those are your numbers for the cake. So 2 goes into 50 25 times. Then what was the next number you used? 5, because we couldn't use 2 anymore, the Marianne, and we couldn't use 3 anymore, so we had to go to 5. So I'm going to put a 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times, and then 5 goes into 5 1 time. So let's circle my pairs. The only thing I have a pair of is 5s. 1 pair of 5s that can come out. Show me with your fingers. How many pairs could you make with the X's? How many pairs did you circle with your X's? 2. 1, 2. So that means 2 pairs. Show me with your fingers. What about the Y's? How many pairs did you make? 3. 1, 2, 3. So that would be Y to the 3rd. So now we just go ahead and simplify this out. What's left underneath the radical? What did not have a partner? A 2 and an X. Good job. 2 and the X. You could really leave that there because it's 5 to the power of 1, but I'm just going to rewrite it without that exponent, without the exponent on the 5. And this would be the answer I'm looking for. All right, let's look at 49. Go ahead and build your cake with the 49. And then I have 4 X's and 5 Y's. Two won't work, 3 won't work, 5 won't work. The first number that's going to work in your cake is 7. So 7 goes into 49 7 times, and then 7 goes into 7 1 time. So does everyone see that I have 1 pair of 7s? That's how I write that. Show me with your fingers how many pairs did you make with the X's? Yep, 2 groups. Good job. So that would be X squared. And what about the Y? Show me with your fingers. I see 2. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is 2. I thought it was 3. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Anything left out that I need to, that has to stay? Just 1 Y. Good job. And this would be your final answer. All right, so now let's start working on our homework together. Homework 3 is due Monday.